I wanna feel that I can fall and not be made to feel a fool. I wanna look up and see a bright light shining through. To see arms outstretched to hold me, wanting nothing in return, but only for me to feel safe and secure. Is that too much to ask for? Is it so wrong to want more than this? Because this is not love.
So I am here with the fabulous Lauren Drew, who we all know from amazing shows such as Six, Heathers, Legally Blonde, winner of a What's on Stage award, and now she is joining another production that is set to be absolutely huge from what we have just seen here today. It is Lizzie the Musical, and we cannot wait. It is coming to the Hope Mill Theatre here in Manchester this September. So thank you very much for chatting with us at Manchester Theatres.
It's my pleasure.
And we cannot wait. So I've just been privileged enough to see a little bit of a snippet of what is to come, and I cannot wait. So can you tell everybody, people might know obviously who Lizzie Borden is, but about the musical and the concept and what we're going to see.
Yeah, so if you don't know anything about Lizzie the Musical, it is about a real life human being that was born back in the 1800s, and she was accused of the murder of her parents with an axe. It's quite dramatic. But the musical is incredible because what they've done is they've taken the story, which is very much part of our time right now, this like whole kind of like crime culture, everyone loves a Netflix documentary, integrated in with a rock punk score. So it works so incredibly well, but you do have those lovely moments of light relief. So the show is full of energy, it's really fun, it can be quite dark at times, but the story is one I think that really suits our time and should be told. It's a lot of fun.
It is, and you are playing Lizzie Borden. Very exciting. So this, obviously, as you've said, we kind of know, if you do a bit of the old Google, you know, you see that, she was accused of this murder.
Yeah.
But this goes beyond that. It kind of looks at her psyche and her motivations, and doesn't it? So what could you maybe tell us about Lizzie that we might not know?
So our version, especially, I think there's there's a few different takes on the story of Lizzie Borden. Our version is she's a very dark and troubled individual, and she has not been given the easiest introduction into life. She has faced a lot of trouble with her family, a lot of sexual abuse, judgment, and she's never really had any true affection from anybody. And I think for our production to kind of get you on side of Lizzie, we have to see those unfortunately really dark sides so that you can justify her behaviour for murdering people with an axe, because we don't do that. Okay, it's not a thing. But the character is so interesting because you see the vulnerability, you also see the very dark sides of Lizzie. So we kind of play within a few different worlds, which is our very period kind of how you should be in that kind of time as a woman, especially, as opposed to this is what I'm really feeling, let's get like rock and roll.
And because obviously if you kind of start out with this preconception, as you said, that she's a murderer, but as you've researched the role, have you kind of come to a bit of a different conclusion? Do you feel differently about her now maybe than you did at the beginning?
Well, I think, like I said, our version, you totally are like, it makes sense, of course she killed her parents, and you're so on side with her. So I think it's so interesting to try and get your mindset in this day and age into the mindset of a woman back in the 1800s, and imagining how things would have been for a woman back then. It would have been, not necessarily great now, but better, but I mean, back then it would have been beyond tragic. So I'm all for Lizzie. I don't solicit murder, but I definitely am very pro Lizzie.
Yes. cast, haven't you?
We have.
So there's 4 of you, and then obviously you've got the 2 brilliant understudies as well. So when you're in a small cast, does that kind of, I mean, we've seen the bond already, it's amazing, but what other kind of advantages are there being in a small cast?
Well, you also have more time to build those relationships. I mean, we've got quite a short-ish rehearsal process, and when there are less of you, you have more time to work on the specifics, on the chemistry, and that's really important, especially, you know, for the love interest that we're doing in our production with Lizzie and Alice. That's a very, very important part of our production. Bridget and Lizzie, the relationships are a lot more thorough because we're given that luxury. And also it's just nice to just be able to have a bit of fun with everybody. We get on so well.
You could see.
And I'm really looking forward to the rest of the run. It's going to be amazing.
When I was a girl, I gave my father my gold ring. He wears it to this day, a symbol of my love for him. My middle name is Andrew. Father wanted a boy, but I'm Daddy's little girl now. The father loved the younger one. Some say a bit too much. They say she talks to pigeons, but who am I to judge?
And I bet you get to do more songs as well, don't you? When there's just 4 of you, you're not having to share them out quite so much.
Yeah, 100%.
And what songs? My goodness, we've just heard a few now.
They're amazing, guys.
They are epic. Honestly, this is going to be one of them next big sort of cult following shows. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I'm really, really just so chuffed to be part of it at this stage.
Yes.
Because I think it's just so up my street. It's all of us that are part of this production. It's just part, you can see it's part of who we are, and it's part of like our voice type and our character type. And yeah, I'm really excited. Get a ticket. Come see it.
And you took it to West End Live.
We did.
Yeah, I saw some. I didn't manage to make it to West End Live, but I've seen some of the YouTube footage.
Yeah.
Watch it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so well received, wasn't it?
It was, and I think that's why after that we were like, this is special. This is really exciting. So, and again, at that point, I already knew a few of the girls actually through like LIZZIE The Musical is how we've all been we're all connected. But our vibe together was already popping in West End Live, and we'd spent like next to no time together. I think like an hour or 2 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was weird how we all just clicked so quickly, which again is making the whole experience even more enjoyable.
And it is going to be this big homegrown thing as well, because obviously we've got resident director at the Hope Mill, Will, who is directing and choreographing. You have Will.
Yes.
Directing, choreographing. I mean, it's just going to be so epic. And really great for Manchester as well. But,
100%.
Yeah, this is being grown here, and then you're taking it on tour as well.
We are, yeah. A few days in random little venues all around the UK. We do a month in Southwark, in London for like I think that's in maybe October, is it? End of October through to November. So it's just so exciting because we get to show it to everybody, everywhere.
Lucky enough to be here with Shekinah McFarlane, who is in the brand new musical Lizzie, which is coming to the Hope Mill Theatre this September. We cannot wait, and we've just seen some previews. You have got some pipes, my goodness me.
Oh, these pipes, I tell you, heaven bless, honey, heaven bless. Literally, this kind of score is right up my street. It's punk rock to the core. Never thought it at the start of my career, but here we are 10 years later, and I've gone, this is my niche. This is my bag.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's brilliant. And you are playing Emma, the sister. So obviously when we you do the old Google on Lizzie Borden and all of that, it's mainly about Lizzie and the parents and the maid. We don't hear quite as much about Emma. So this is a brilliant opportunity for you to sell Emma, the sister, to everybody.
Oh, Emma, if I was to describe her, she's fiery, she's very protective of Lizzie, and she also has this motherly instinct over Lizzie as well, which goes beyond just being protective of Lizzie. And I think within that, so many different emotions are coming from that, and her actions also follow that. Anything to protect Lizzie. And I think that in itself is a beautiful sisterhood, but also to be on stage being a sister with my sister Lauren Drew, who I was on, sits with for 2.5 years. There's nothing better. There's not a better feeling than just being able to share a sisterly role with a sister.
Yeah, and you can see that from what we've seen in the previews today, or the little snippets that we've got. You can absolutely see that is going on. And what is so exciting is that there's so much new kind of information coming out of this, because the thing is, right, so it's no drop away to say that she was acquitted. You can Google that. So you're kind of able to play around, are you, with...
Yes, kind of the story of it all. There's so many conspiracy theories behind what happened. But I think with everything that that we are holding and we are doing, I think we are pushing a specific narrative that really emphasizes reclaiming your voice. And I think that in itself makes the show pretty damn special.
Yeah.
When Daddy was an undertaker, nobody was too tall. He charged him for the big box and marry him in the small. To save a couple dollars, he chopped off a couple feet.
He's second rich, that Mr. Borden.
In the house of Borden, there's a lock on every door. In every room, a prisoner of a long silent war. Let us take you to an August back in 1892, when all hell rose in the house of Borden.
And even just from what we've seen today, there was the range of emotions, right? So you've got the come on, you've got the feisty, you've got the oh my goodness, like when the neighbour was singing, when Maiya was singing, I was just like, and then at the end, what I wasn't expecting in a musical about murder was this hope and this spirit.
That it's the musical journey for the show is an interesting one to be a part of. You see everything kind of start, and I've come up with this analogy, so bear with me.
Okay, go for it.
The show is like a pumpkin. And I say a pumpkin like this. You got the hard outer shell, it's bright, it's vivid, punk rock, it's in your face.
Yeah.
Then you've got the inside, it's all mushy, it's all go wet, and that is the madness of what this is. Everything has its part, okay, this is the bottom of the pumpkin, so we've got to get that out. There's always a part of the story that makes it what it is. And I think that in itself, when it comes to the music as well, ooh, child, you are on a journey from the start to the finish. Once you're on the train, don't try get enough, because you won't. You just won't.
You're not going to get out. And to finish the pumpkin off, you can use the axe to carve a face.
And Lauren Drew is one of the best carvers I think I've ever seen of a pumpkin. So come Halloween, I think we're sorted.
I think you are. And so we've said, we've got, obviously, this production has been, Lizzie the Musical, should I say, it's been on in New York, It's been on in London. This is a brand new production of it. So what can we expect that's slightly different? Is it that narrative push, or is it?
Ooh, we are definitely focusing on story first. I think that in itself, we had a read through and we were sat and we go, oh, there's so much more context to everything else once you actually sit down and read it and listen to it properly. And I also think the version that we're doing will also, I guess, materialize in a different way. I think there's so many different things, vices and ideas that are coming from our wonderful creative team that are really going to push what's happening on the floor.
Yeah, and I was just having a little chat with Will outside. So Hope Mills, obviously amazing director.
We love Will.
We love Will, who is directing and choreographing this whole show. And this must make you feel epic that he's just told us that not one of you had to audition. He offered. It was just like, I want these people. These are the best people for the show. I mean, that is unusual, isn't it?
Very unusual. It's the first time it's ever happened in my career.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the email, and I was like, oh, there's not an audition time. That's nice. And it was just a wonderful feeling, because I remember seeing it and I go, okay, I have no idea what this is about. Tried to Google it at first, and you know, when you're kind of trying to do a quick scan, you don't really look properly. So I was like, still don't understand. So I just remember kind of like trying to understand who else I had in mind. And once I had an inkling, I was like, what are you thinking? So then we did more research into it, and once I realised what this show is and the powerhouse effect that can happen from what we're doing, I couldn't say no.
No, absolutely not. Best decision ever.
Yeah.
Best decision ever. It is going to be absolutely epic.
Oh,
I
I'm
can
with you
feel
on that
it.
one.
Oh, this cannot be right, for it seems to me a secret's just a lie. And Lizzie, no one knows the emptiness of lying more than if you knew that every night I dream of you. If you knew that in my dreams I come to you. If you knew how to use them touch me, would you tell me everything?
And it's going to get it's just going to get such a huge sort of cult following as well, like some other shows that
Yes.
we're not going to mention, because it's not about those shows today. It's about your show.
It's about Lizzie.
It's about Lizzie. But yeah, it is. It's got that vibe, hasn't it? It's got it all going on. It's got all the right ingredients.
Absolutely. I think there's so many things in this that will be relatable and have people on the edge of their seats, who actually sitting back and having their little revelations for themselves, and kind of harnessing different emotions, because there's so much that happens throughout the show. There is something in one character and you go, yeah, I think I'm like this one, and they go, no, actually, no, I see what. It's one of those, and it's powerful. It's so powerful.
Fire burns, small dark figures, you and I. Don't let them see. Don't let them see how the fire burns. Fire burns. Smoke rises black as night, blocks the light from deep inside. Burn the old thing out. Burn the old thing out. Burn the old thing. Burn the old thing.
There you have it. It is going to be the best show to just come and watch. Honestly, it's so exciting. Grab your friends, grab a couple of axes, don't use them.
Don't.
Come along and support the Hope Mill Theatre, Lauren and everybody else who is going to be here this September for Lizzie the Musical. We wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you so
Not
much.
that you're going to need it. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.